Hi, welcome, and we're going to go ahead and discuss. Okay, so you bought the Learn to Play um, set, $40. So I'm going to go ahead and anticipate maybe you have additional $60 to mess with because maybe we're going to devote $20 to each deck that you grab in the starter in the Learn to Play. So this is going to cover all three decks, $20 a piece to each deck, and hopefully that brings you to some competitive list to test between the three decks, right? To see kind of where you want to be. So first off, the Zoro deck. So this is basically what you start with right out of the gate. You get one Zoro in your pack. So I cut one Kinemon for one. So this is the starter list that you would start with. So we're gonna go ahead and put some upgrades into the list that add up to less than $20. This is the deck I think you could take with this $20 upgrades and take it to your LGS, compete, get store credit, and invest more into this deck. So this is the deck I think you're going to start with to accumulate credits to boost the other two decks potentially as well. So first things first, we're going to cut the Nico for 4 copies of Cunha. So this is a staple for Zoro. It's a 4-drop, comes down. You could rest this character, give basically tap down a 4-drop, base cost of 4 or less, and then give 3 rested dawn to your leader. Really effective card. Um, Basically a staple. So you're gonna pick up 4 copies. It's like less than 25 cents per copy, but I round up. So next we're gonna cut the 2 copies of Kinemon. We're gonna end up with 1 in the deck. We're gonna pick up 2 copies of because the side of justice will be whichever side wins. This is being reprinted in PRB02. It's 50 cents a card, so you're definitely going to pick up 2 copies of this. It's good to have in your collection, anyways. Next, we're going to pick up 2 copies of Dead Man's Game. It's $1 a pop, so we're going to cut 2 of the other 1-drop event. It's a really good swap here, and Dead Man's Game is going to give you a lot of flexibility and be able to win the game. Next, we're going to go ahead and cut the Rainuma, or you can cut the 4-drop Zoro, whichever one you prefer. One of those two should be cut. The Zoro is a 1K counter, so I kept it. And I'm going to say pick up 4 copies of Perona. They're about $15 for a playset. This is the bulk of your upgrades. So total is about 19 bucks. The other card you're going to work towards once you accumulate this is picking up a playset of Mihawk as you get store credit. It runs about $7 to $8 a copy. So it's going to take you a little bit of time to pick up your playset because it works really well with Zoro because it comes down untapped 4 Dawn. You put the 4 Dawn onto your leader. You have a blocker back and you get to a swing in. So it's really effective there. So I recommend you picking up the 4 playset of this eventually as you accumulate credits. But that's basically it for Zoro. Pretty good list. The Perona is like a staple. So is the other card too. So you're gonna be happy with that. So next we're gonna cover is Luffy. So Luffy, right out of the gate, this is what you start with. You get 1 Frankie in the pack, you get a Sanji in the pack, you get a Dragon in the pack. So we're gonna keep them into the list for now, and 1 Kid Killer. So pretty solid, okay-ish list. This list can maybe also get you a pretty good record at your LGS to also accumulate credits. It's probably the second best of the 3. Um, After, of course, pumping in the money, $20 into the deck. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the Sanji in the next card on the next slide. 2 copies there for 3 copies of Dragon. It just got reprinted in PRBO2. It's 50 cents a piece. So we're definitely gonna pick up a full play set of Dragon. Very good card. So we're gonna pick up 3 copies of Frankie. So this is Usopp is taking one of the slots for the new um, Dragon. So you're definitely going to be happy with that. So that's going to set you up for a better situation overall. So next we're going to cut 4 copies of Chopper. We're going to pick up 4 copies of Wapple. It's a very good effect. It allows you just to attach a Dawn, decrease the power or something, and that's really nice. So I really like that effect. You also could maybe cut 1 Wapple actually, because you do want Dragon. And after thinking about my math, I was 1 off. Unless I'm calculate it for later. So you might be one card over. So at that point, you could reduce your Frankie, but I don't think that's correct because it's a 2K counter. You want to keep those 2K counters. So I think you could probably cut a Wobble for the dragon. So you could pick up 3 copies of Wobble if you want. Next, we're going to cut 2 copies of Zoro for 2 more copies of Luffy. It's one of the best cards in the deck. So you're definitely going to be wanting a full playset of this Luffy. Next, we're going to cut the next 2 copies of Zoro for the 4-drop Zoro. It's just a little bit better than the other one. And I think overall you're going to like it. It's not bad. Eventually you might trim it back to 4 or 3 of, but you're not going to be, I'm not going to be upset with this. Next, we're going to cut 1 copy of Silver's Rayleigh for 1 more Kid and Killer. So that brings us up to our final product. So it's $18.25, probably $18 if you don't buy one of the cards previously. So we can keep the 4th copy of the dragon. So I recommend doing that. And if you wanted to do more enhancements, Sanji's like $6 to $7 a copy. And this would probably be replacing your Nico Robin 3-drops. So it's probably something you want to invest into if you're planning on playing this deck or your LGS. The more you play it, hopefully the more money you can accrue and you can invest into this deck. So that's kind of all there is for this deck in particular. So we're going to get into Nami. So Nami right out of the gate, you start with something like this. So we have 1 Lola, we cut back. We do have our Nami, which we get in the side booster pack. And of course, you still have the Luffy. So we're going to keep this Luffy in the shell. It's pretty good. We're going to cut the Sanji out of this deck. We're going to cut a lot of these Charlottes out too. So let's get into this list. First, we're going to cut the Chopper, pick up Zeus, a better 2K counter. It actually can be a removal spell if you need to. And it's a 2-drop, which is more effective than a 5-drop potentially. Next, we're going to cut the Usopp, pick up 4 copies of Kiko. It's only 20 cents a pop for the reprint card version from Yamato. So we're definitely going to pick up a playset and put that into the shell. Next, we're going to cut the Sanji, pick up 2 copies of Jozu instead. It's like $7.20 for 2 of them. So it's like $3.60 a piece. I think that's correct. $3.60 a pop. Next, we're going to go ahead and cut the Zoro, 4-drop Zoro, and pick up no Jiko. So pretty solid, $1 a piece. You're not going to be upset with that. Next, we're going to cut the 4 copies of the Shiften. We're going to pick up 2 copies of Baby 5. The version I looked at referencing Nami. They played 2 of these and 2 of the other card we're going to talk about after this. You could pick up 4 copies of Baby 5 if you want. That's up to you. So we're going to cut the other 2 copies of Shiften for 1 Hawkins. We have a Hawkins in our booster pack that comes with a Learn to Play. So I recommend just putting 2 Hawkins in plus Baby 5 and then cut this 5-drop. Next, we're going to go ahead and cut the 4 5-drop 7K Luffy's for 4 copies of Kid. This got reprinted in PRBO2. So it's only 50 cents a copy. So we're going to go ahead and pick up a full play set while it's cheap. And hopefully that helps you pretty much with the deck. And the last adjustment is the $1.20-ish, $1.30-ish is Nami. So we get 1 in the booster pack. We'll pick up 1 more, cutting this last Lola. And I think that wraps up the deck as a whole. So $20 basically right on the dot. Now you could definitely invest into Kuma. It's like pretty expensive, but you definitely want to place that eventually as you move along in this deck. And yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about these upgrades to your Learn to Play deck. Now, of course, your deck does tell you how to play the deck, at least the 2 of them. This is a nice way of investing $20 into each deck there, and just hopefully that's enough to get you started at your LGS. That's the main goal of these videos with the starter decks in this one. This is going to be put into that. Now, expect a video to drop in the near future. I'm going to be telling you again on ST22 or actually 23 to 28, I think. I'm going to redo them and then basically tell you $10 more featuring OP12 and PRBO2. So like Shank's got new cards. Bonnie got new cards. So when the cards drop in price, I'm going to put up a new video saying if you invest $10 more into the deck since the last one, because I'm hoping by the time you picked it up originally, you've had more now, have more money to invest into the deck. And here you go. This is the path forward on to do that. I also be featuring on the other channel, my main channel. Check it. Actually, this is the main channel. So go ahead and check in the on future videos. I'm going to start doing budget decks. Let me know in the comment section if you guys would like this. So I'm going to hit Blackbeard because that's like $50 deck. Lim is probably a $50 deck. There's a few others that I could easily hit right out of the gate. It's like $50 per deck. And I'm going to be going through them as well. That way you guys can get into competitive One Piece for $50. So let me know what you guys want me to know in the comment section. What series would you guys like to see? And I'll talk to you guys next.